Rules versus ethics. See, more often than not, coming up, we're always taught to follow the rules. I make the rules. Abide by the rules. This is what you have to do because them's the rules. What we're seldom told, however, is to do the right thing. You see, the two are not necessarily equivalent, right? Just because you're following the rules doesn't necessarily mean that you're being ethical. Case in point, the slave trade. Slave trade is a classic example of what happens when people just follow the rules instead of behaving ethically. Now, in a modern context, it's no big thing to look at it and say, hey, it's unethical to claim ownership over another human being. But during the time, that was the rule. You could do that. Not only that, in the context of Capoeira, we see that it was against the rules for those enslaved people to learn or practice anything that might bring about their liberation. Right? That's why they weren't allowed to learn how to fight. Also, coincidentally, why they weren't allowed to learn how to read and write. Now, again, looking at it in a modern context, we know that that's wrong and we have no problem calling that out. However, doing so during that time period would have been revolutionary, and in fact was. So, as capoeiristas, it is my firm assertion that we have an obligation to behave ethically, but that sometimes behaving ethically means that we have to violate the rules. You see, the problem comes when we try to substitute rules as a shorthand for ethics. You see, as humans, a lot of times we try to find these shortcuts, right? And having somebody set out some rules and say, hey, if you do these things, then you're a good person, well, that goes a long way towards helping us to feel like we're behaving ethically. When in fact, you have to take into account a whole bunch of different things. For example, maybe chiefly among them, the person making the rules is going to be the person that's in power. And they probably have a vested interest in maintaining that power. And those rules then are going to be made in such a way that is most conducive to them keeping that power. So it may have nothing to do with actually being ethical, with actually behaving in a moral sense, but more so in maintaining what they already have. So that's just some food for thought. Let me know what you guys think. Paisashe. Ciao.